OP's boyfriend had an affair with her therapist, using my throwaway account for obvious reasons. I 26F have been in therapy for about a year now because I was on the verge of burnout and still had trauma to work through from my previous relationship, which has negatively impacted my current relationship with my boyfriend 28M. While my current relationship has been an increasingly frequent topic in therapy sessions lately, I was there mainly because of psychological pressure regarding my studies and work. Lately, I've been feeling increasingly worse and haven't been able to handle the pressure around me as well, which has also put a strain on my relationship. Because I wasn't being completely honest with my therapist and her suggestions weren't working, we agreed to include my boyfriend in some sessions. These were to be one-on-one sessions so that she could get his perspective and create a plan that would take his needs into consideration as well. My therapist 37F has been very helpful in helping me better reflect on my emotions and better articulate my needs. The better I could deal with the pressure, the better things went between me and my boyfriend. After a while, I noticed that my therapist was acting increasingly strange. Whereas before she was very neutral and asked more pointed questions that allowed me to reflect on my own behavior in relation to my relationship and patterns of behavior, she increasingly began to badmouth my relationship and blame me for my relationship problems. I found this very strange, and I couldn't explain where the sudden change came from, but I didn't think too much of it. Maybe I was just on the fence about how badly I treat my boyfriend. Fast forward to today. Yesterday, I was at my boyfriend's house, and we were having a nice day and decided to watch a movie together before bedtime. Out of nowhere, he suddenly had tears in his eyes, and then he confessed to me that he was having an affair with her. He cried the whole time and reassured me that he regretted it and didn't want to lose me. In his words, my therapist put so much pressure on him that he didn't know what to do and couldn't say no. I guess it started when she invited him to a one-on-one session. That was months ago, and since then, they have been meeting secretly. After he confessed to me, I drove home and cried the entire car ride. No matter how long I think about it, what he says just doesn't make sense. How could he do this to me? Ever since he told me about his cheating, he has been constantly trying to call and text me. I have 13 missed calls from him, and a lot of messages assuring me that I am his world, and he didn't want any of this to happen, but she pushed him into doing it. He has also been to my parents' house, and my mother has told me how miserable he is, and that he mentions over and over again that my therapist pressured him. Dear people of Reddit, how do I deal with this situation? Part of me doesn't want to believe any of this, and wants to believe him. The other part knows that what he did is not excusable. TLDR. My 26F boyfriend 28M had an affair with my therapist 37F because she pressured him and badmouthed me, and I don't know what to do now. Update. Hello everybody. Sorry for not getting back to you with an update for so long, and for not responding to the comments. The last few days were pretty exhausting for me since I had to study for my finals and go to work, besides being absolutely heartbroken. But I have read through all the comments and am really overwhelmed by all the support. After all this happened, my ex-boyfriend tried to meet me at my place. So I went to my parents first, but then got in touch with him after a few days. We talked for a long time because I really wanted to understand what exactly happened. But the sad truth is, I still don't know if she really pressured him that much into having sex with her or not. He couldn't give me a proper answer, even when I made it clear to him what the consequences would be for her career. So I broke up with him. I told him that he could talk to me anytime if he felt that what she did was sexual coercion or assault. But I can't forget what happened, even though I don't know who actually initiated the affair, or who is to blame. I'm also not in the emotional state to continue seeing him if he is complicit in my trust being so exploited and broken. Regarding my therapist, I have reported her and am in the process of suing for damages. I absolutely do not care how much she manipulated my ex-boyfriend, or if he willingly had sex with her. I have been her patient, and she has gone behind my back. Hopefully, she won't have anything left after I'm done with her. So that's it. I am now trying to move forward and focus on the important things. To be honest though, all of this has broken my heart. From one day to the next, my entire life has been destroyed, and I can start all over again in terms of my mental health. Right now, I can't imagine trusting anyone like that ever again, but I guess that's just life. We live and we learn. Thank you for all the love and support. And a big F you to all those effing disgusting pigs in my DMs that have been trying to get naked pics from me, while I was absolutely devastated and in a horrible situation. TLDR. I broke up with my boyfriend and reported my therapist. Second story. OP discovered her identity after she tried to mess with Bill. To put it bluntly, I look like a girl. Definitely a flat-chested one, but still. I guess I'm just unlucky in the genetics department. Most people think I'm just a tomboy, but still, it gets a bit annoying when people think I'm a girl. I'm pretty comfortable with myself now, but I used to get bullied a lot for it and can be a bit sensitive about it. My sister's 26-year-old husband, 30-year-old, is always making jokes about it. I've told him to stop, but he never does since it's all just jokes. I've gotten sick of it and wanted to get him back instead of being my usual timid self and not saying anything. I went out of my way to get some friends and my younger sister to give me a makeover a little before they were to come over. Basically, make me look as girly as possible. They did a pretty good job, and it turns out that if I'm all made up, I look a lot like a younger version of my older sister. When they came over, I made sure to act as girly as possible. He was visibly very uncomfortable, so I was definitely winning this one. They left very early, and I got a text from my sister calling me an arsehole for making her husband uncomfortable. She told a few family members, but most are on my side, and a few think what I did was childish and in arsehole territory. AITA. Edit. F off to anyone using Reddit care resources to be bigots. No one likes you. Edit 2. I got a text from my sister saying that I was a giant piece of SHT and ruining her marriage. I don't think I will be seeing them anytime soon, but just in case, I'm going to try and have a proper conversation with my parents about everything and see if we can not have them in the house for a while. Since I only pay rent to live with them, I don't really get a say, but I hope my parents can support me. Relevant comments. In response to someone saying, he must have looked cute. I thought I looked quite cute too, lol. It was a lot more fun than I thought. And yeah, I was wearing a skirt for the makeover. Maybe next time I will try a dress. In response to someone saying it must be empowering. Me and my sister are talking about it now. We plan to go shopping and get me a few clothes. Then maybe get my nails, hair, and makeup done professionally, so I can see how I look in a dress at my best. I didn't know I would have this much fun. My sister is probably the most excited though. She finally gets her way and gets to make me all pretty like she's been trying to for years. Update. Thank you everyone for all the feedback, positivity, acceptance, and some laughs from some comments. It's been a wild few days. I had to sit down with my parents and had a big talk about my feelings. They agreed that my sister's husband wouldn't be welcome in the house anymore. The only reason they didn't do or say anything about it was because they thought it didn't bother me and knew I'm a tough cookie. They apologized for that and said they would speak out more in the future if anything like this happened again. My older sister had been texting me a lot, calling me all sorts of names and saying I'm ruining her marriage. She also visited yesterday, and as soon as she came into the house, she started screaming at me, and things got heated. So my parents also banned her from coming over until she could apologize for her behavior and let her husband continue to make me uncomfortable. On a more positive note, I've been exploring myself a lot these couple days with my twin sister. She told me to not call her my younger sister. But we are a day apart, so I will always call her my younger sister. It's all good fun. She helped me a lot with clothes and makeup, even experimenting with what pronouns I liked. I think I may be trans, but there's still a lot of exploring to do. I hope this is a worthwhile update for some of you. It's not exciting or drama-filled, but things are working out, and it's at least an exciting time for me, even with some of the negativity. I do have to say, thank you so much, Bill. I wouldn't have explored my identity without you. Edit. Some people are taking the little sister comment a little too seriously. My sister is fine with it. She read the post before it was posted, and we had a giggle about it. My relationship with my twin sister is a lot different than my relationship with my Bill. Relevant comments. What's up with your sister? I'm not sure what's going on between them since ATM. I want nothing to do with my sister and Bill. Yep. I do hope it works out for my sister, with or without her husband. I still do love her and want her in my life, but not the way she is now. Clarification on how the OP and twin sister are a day apart, and about the mom. We were born 4 or 5 hours apart. When we were younger, we would celebrate birthdays, but not normally on the birth date. Mostly on a weekend, but we would have a smaller one on both birth dates for both of us with just family. We got our favorite meals for dinner, even from takeout places, and our favorite cake each day. It was always a great few days. As we got older, we would still do the family thing but have our own separate parties or things we did. Thank you. As for my mother, I know that I and my sister were born 4 or 5 hours apart different days. I am not sure how long before that she was in labor, but I know it was a very difficult one. Update. Everything has been quiet from my older sister and Bill. Me and my other sisters have been having a blast helping me explore my identity. I even went out clubbing with them dressed up, and it was so fun. I've been going by Sheher since my last update, and by a different name to see how it feels, and it feels right. But who knows, maybe I like those pronouns and might not be trans. Either way, exploring takes a while. I'm learning, and you can always discover more about yourself. On a less positive note, my Bill and sister being quiet and not seeing them came to a quick end last night. Bill came to the house drunk, mumbling things about how I ruined his marriage and calling me names and other BS. He went to the side of the house and entered through the back door that we never locked. It was very scary in the moment. He came after me and tried to push my head into his crotch, and when that didn't work, he tried pulling my pants down and pushing me to the ground. Thankfully, my sister was there to pull him off and threaten him with a kitchen knife. He left right away, and we called the police and my parents, who were out at the time. My parents came straight away, but the police didn't show up till 2 hours later to basically just say they couldn't do anything, and that if we wanted, we could go to the courthouse for a restraining order. My parents tried calling and texting my sister to tell her what happened and why he did what he did, but all she texted back was F off. I'm very shaken up right now, but I'm not going to let it get to me. My parents are going to get me a psychologist so that I can talk about this and other problems I feel, and maybe also help me explore my identity a bit. I'm sorry this wasn't a more positive update than my previous one, but I always appreciate the support of everyone on Reddit, even if there are a few arseholes. Comments from OP's Boru post. Police. The country in which I'm from is pretty inconsistent. You could get one set of officers doing everything in their power to give you the resources to do something. If they can't, then you have some that will ignore straight-up crime happening in front of them because they don't give an SHT. Where does OP live? Bingo. I don't know what it's like in other places in Australia, but the cops in my area are very inconsistent in the area where I live. Leaving the back door unlocked. In my country, it's normal not to lock the back door, especially for my family, so the dogs can go in and out. Yeah, it quickly became a habit of mine now. I check the back and front doors religiously now. Security cameras. My mother ordered some cameras we can use with an app so we can all have access. As for a dog, we do have 3, but only one big protective one. The other 2 small dogs are more of an alarm system, and they just didn't see him as a threat at the time since they knew him. Update. I just wanted to give a little update to some of the people who would like one. My Bill came to my house again to apologize. Luckily, I wasn't there, and my dad chased him off while calling the police. This time they actually came at an appropriate time about 20 minutes later. There was nothing they could do except advise my parents and me to get a restraining order, so that's what I did. Right now, I only have an IRO that lasts about 20 or something days or something like that, and if he doesn't show up to court in those days, I'll get a more permanent VRO. Other than that, everything has been quiet, and we haven't heard from my older sister or Bill since. We do know she's safe since she's been SHT talking the family to friends and other extended family. I've been mainly staying in, depressed, but doing okay, seeing a therapist, and being diagnosed with depression and put on medication. I honestly thought I was fine for those days after Bill tried that. But it got to me more than I thought, like a week or 2 after. My other sisters have really been helping me not feel alone, even if it's just us watching Netflix in silence on opposite ends of the couch. It makes me feel more safe. Sad post. My dad passed away from a heart attack the other day. I just had to watch my dad suffer, while I couldn't do anything but cry with my sisters, while our mother called an ambulance. I felt so useless and scared. Now I don't have my dad anymore. The man who I could always rely on to protect me, cuddle me when I was sad, and teach me and my sisters how to fish, even if we were ungrateful little SHTs and hated fishing. I would fish forever if it meant I could see him again. How do you even live with a big part of yourself just missing? I keep going from numb to angry to uncontrollable, ugly crying. How can he just be gone? I want my dad back. I miss him. I love him, and I just want him back. Please, 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 please give him back. He still has so much to do, see, and enjoy. He still has kids to love, and I still have so much more love to give him. I'm so lost now. I always went to my dad when I was lost, but he's not here anymore. What do I do when I'm lost now? Do I just stay lost? Final update post. 8 months later. I just recently discovered that I still had these account details on a phone note, which reminded me to log in. Some people seem to want a bit of an update, so I'll give one to those that care. My dad passed away about 7 months ago. I'm still grumbling but doing a bit better after seeing a therapist and psychiatrist. As for my older sister, the last we heard from her was after Dad passed away, and she wanted inheritance. Then cursed our mother out when realizing that he left nothing to her, and everything went to our mother. Since then, we haven't heard from her or seen her. What we know is that she and Bill moved across the country to live with his extended family. Good riddance. On a more positive note, Therapy has been going well. I've transitioned now, and despite what has happened the last year, I am finally happy with my identity and who I am. My therapist encouraged me to talk to my GP about all this, and she was very supportive. I'm now on a fast-track referral to an endocrinologist. After confiding in my GP, she did some basic blood tests and hormone screening. I don't know why, but I'm glad she did. Aside from a bit of low iron, she found that I have less than 1% NGDL of testosterone. She's thinking some kind of androgen deficiency. Maybe that's why I always look feminine lol, but lucky for me, that also fast-tracks the referral. So that's about it. As far as what broadly happened over the months, it is not exactly a detailed report, but I hope it was a decent update for you guys nonetheless. Thank you for watching the video.